Hello, friends and beautiful people. I know a couple of you asked if we went to look at Cousin Willie's farm, if I would take a video. I take a video for a minute. I don't know how long I'll be able to take a video because the Amish don't like having their pictures taken. We've been to the bakery, so Hubs has his little donut down. Let me show you a little bit where we are. This is the area that we're in. It is very remote. And the one thing I liked about Cousin Willie's farm, we don't like that it has a shared driveway. We haven't seen inside the house before until today. But, oh, wow. Here's, hang on. We're here. This is Cousin Willie's farm. We're pulling in. Oh my. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to kill the camera just as soon as we see people. Friends, I'm gonna kill the video for now. If I can, I will take some more video in a minute. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing. Alrighty, friends, we're back. So it ended up that I couldn't finish this video while we were at Cousin Willie's because we ended up staying there for a few hours. And I showed you the drive-in. It was just a beautiful farm. I honestly, we've looked at a lot of Amish farms, and we, not all of them are pristine. The original Amish farm we were looking at looked like it had just been built and no one ever moved in. It was spotless. And there was, you know, there weren't any imperfections in the drywall. The cabinets were perfect. And usually that just doesn't happen. The workmanship, as far as the building itself, are always good. But usually they don't put in trim, and there's just other things. So as you drive down this driveway and you're coming in, there's all these cows. It's 26 acres, I think. And then there's the one barn that I think you got to see a little bit on the video. And then there's the other barn that had all the stalls in it for the horses, and the horses and ponies were all in there. And it had a nice tack room. It was a super nice barn. It was newer. And then there was a barn over on this side, and then the house up on the hill. That you kind of got to see that earlier. And then in the back, there were two ponds. And there's a natural spring on the property that makes it so that the cattle don't have to have like water all the time. They've got that spring there. So, I apologize. I'm doing orders while I talk to you. And then the one pond had a beach. So he said that in the summer, all the little Amish people around come over and swim in this pond because it's got this beach. And it was way super cool. So the building that looked like a barn that wasn't a barn, it was the original house that they built. So underneath it was kind of open, but it had doors that come down. And then in the top was actually where they lived when Cousin Willie was younger. They built it, I think, in 2002. And it was like a little ranch house, but there was a second floor. And then there was an attic. I think there was an attic too that you could use for storage. So that would have been a perfect place for the quilt shop. And then it checked all the boxes, honestly. Again, you know, he wanted a little more than what we wanted to spend. And he and Hubs went around and like walked the property line and looked at the cattle, and you know, they were gone for a while. and I was with his wife, and she gave me such confidence. She showed me she was making bread and dinner rolls, and then she was also making lunch for the kids. And she taught me how to cook on this wood-burning cook stove. And I had always thought that, you know, I could do it, but there would be a learning curve involved. Friends, I'm going to tell you, I think I can do this without a learning curve. I mean, I might have a couple of burnt loaves of bread, but I think I got this. And they taught us some other little tricks and things too. But it was such a great day and such a great visit. So it was worth the trip just for the fellowship that we had with them. And then they have 5 children, and that was cool. The one little boy just melted my heart. He reminded me of my youngest. He was just an ornery little thing, and I would take 10 ornery little boys any day of the week. I just love ornery little boys. So we did that, and then she had a little one, and they had been up. So they have to. The reason they're moving. So follow this. It's like a soap opera, and you're gonna love this. The house that we were looking at was Cousin Willie's sister. Now, if you need to take a minute to write it down, you can pause the video. There's another house a little bit down that road that's for sale that we were talking to Cousin Willie about when he was telling us his price for his land, and we're like, you want too much for this, you know, we're gonna, you know, check out this other place that's down the road. And he said, well, that's my brother. And I said, well, why is he selling? And he said, because he wants to buy my house. And I said, okay. And he said, because I didn't know, cousin, I mean, I knew he was selling his business, but I didn't know he was selling his house. And he said, yeah. He said, why don't you go drive by my house? So, and this was, you know, probably at least a month ago. So we drove by his house, and we really weren't interested, because looking from the road, you know, looked like it had a shared driveway, and we just had a really bad experience with that before, and said, nope, we're not, you know, we're not interested or whatever. So then it came up again. He goes, we want you to come down and look at our house. So we went down, you know, to look at the house. And I really wasn't, just based on the way that the barn looked after he left it, I wasn't expecting much. So we were pleasantly surprised. The house is the exact same house as the other one, except for it's not brand new. They've got kids, and it's lived in, and it's awesome to have, you know, just, the kids all showed us their bedrooms, and it was just so peaceful. It was just the coolest day. And we really did enjoy ourselves. And, you know, they taught us some tricks about some other things for off-grid. That house, so here's the first Amish house was on county water, because they're making, I mean, in the middle of nowhere, they're making everyone go on county water. And I really am, we've been struggling to find a place that was on a well the way we are here. And Cousin Willie's is on well water. So that's one check for Cousin Willie's place. The price is a check for the other place, because they reduced the price on it. And then Cousin Willie wants too much for his house, so there's another plus for the first farm. So, you know, we were just kind of weighing all the pros and cons coming back. But we got home, and we were just so tickled, because they took so much time with us, and it just was, we used to camp with the kids, and I know I told you this story before. When they were little, we used to camp. We had some Amish friends, and we would stay on their farm. And it was a big house on a hill. And then across the road, there was an auction that would go all weekend, all day Saturday. And that was to raise money for the Amish school. So we would go in, stay with Alvin. The kids would play in the ponds all day long. And then as adults, we would take turns going to the auction. You know, when something was going up, I would go take my turn, and 1 or 2 of the other adults would stay with all the kids to make sure nobody drowned, and just to make sure they were fed and their needs were met, and you know, all the things. But it was back behind the house, so it was very private, and these 3 ponds were back there, and you would never know we were back there. That's the way Cousin Willie's farm was. Once you get past that house that's out there by the road, there's like, it just opens up and there's just hills that go all the way around it and no one can see you. And I could run naked through the yard. Nobody could see me, which is a good thing because once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And in all honesty, though, it was. We were quite tickled, and we are praying about it. We're praying to see where God leads us, for Him to give us discernment on whether we need to raise our price range for our expectations. Quite frankly, and that's all I know for now. Until next time, again, I'll tell you: be blessed and be a blessing, and make somebody smile today.